Hey there, BBs. It's me, your boy. I don't know how long I'm gonna have the camera on for this one, but we can stream for at least um like just under 3 hours. It should be good. We took some time off work. I was gonna be using this time to look for my dog Ryu and see if I could find him. That's what I initially took the time off, but I found him this morning. I'm happy to report he is alive. He is home. Seems to be unharmed. I just got done cleaning him up a little bit. He's gonna need more rounds of it, but we're both exhausted, so I'm just gonna let him rest. Right, we have delivery for the Mountaineer. So, we didn't stream last night. I planned to, but I just wasn't really feeling up to it. Oh wow, we gained quite a bit of likes over the last couple days. But yes, that's the really awesome news. But also to bring it more in line with the game, we did play for quite a while after. I don't know if you're coming in from the last session where I was like, okay, great, stop watching at this point unless you want to see me just kind of build out the network. We ended up getting a little bit more story. We didn't necessarily want to, but it kind of happened. But we built this whole network. We've connected some more people. All of it is in that session if you did watch all of it, so like you won't really miss anything. But if you took my advice, we had some more story forced upon us that we didn't really ask for. But yeah, we made this trip to the Mountaineer pretty much nothing, because it's beefy hell down there. This takes us right to the Mountaineer. It's good that we're building this out as we're going. Chiral bridges cannot be used during timefall. That feels like a terrible thing to use, though.
Sam Bridges, there's someone we need you to deliver a package to. She's a strange bird that lives even higher up in the clouds than we do. And the research she's doing,
Okay.
out there.
Yeah, we're doing a little celebration.
We're talking straight up occult stuff.
Because I can only stream for just under 3 hours.
She claims she's delving into the mysteries of the cosmos. Anyway, I found this rock out in the mountains with a handprint on it. And when I mentioned it to her, she got all excited. I honestly don't know.
Oh, my camera's not even on. You know, I'm okay with that. We're gonna do no camera today. Because I'm gonna be eating pizza and I'm filthy.
Joining the UCA has opened my eyes to a few things. Like how there are all these people out there trying to make sense of the Death Stranding in their own way.
When there's not so much dialogue, I'll tell the full story of how I found them.
Of a lunatic to me, but they clearly mean something to her. I'd like to help her out. With your assistance, that is. You'll find an official order on the terminal. To think you got this.
Hipster uses zip line. Nice, more bandwidth.
By the way, I got
Custom chiral climbing anchor. Okay, it's not really that much better than a normal one. We're just gonna put it in a private locker. But yeah, the full story of Ryu being missing and stuff.
Never stop, Sam.
Yo, I am all for people submitting materials. Please do, and thanks.
Weapons restrictions begin.
Wait, I don't think I took on the new delivery. Whoops.
All weapons will
Like, I talked to him, but I didn't actually take it.
welcome, Sam.
But yeah, he, so what happened was yesterday morning, so the morning of the 4th of April 2022, my sister had let him out. Oh my god. We can carry all this, but at what cost? Holy smokes. Ooh. What? Come on. I'm trying to tell a story.
Sam, it's just like the one at South Knot City. A vortex loaded with so much chiralium that it's almost off the charts.
Come on.
Slowly but surely, it's creeping closer to us here in Mountain Knot. At least that's what I think, but I can't see it. Not with the naked eye. But the data doesn't lie. It's the same temporal phenomenon that you told me dropped you in a war zone.
I told you. But that wasn't.
The Cupid's limiter can handle most chiral spikes, but we didn't plan for another supercell.
Another supercell.
I told you it was the same as before.
Mama, is that you?
You got me, Sam. It's been a while. But not really. Mulligan, Lochna, we're the same. One body, one mind, one being. There's no point in trying to draw a distinction. Not in this world. We're all connected. Remember that.
So we're still just gonna call you Lochna?
Order assigned.
Alright, now I have a little bit of free time. But, we are... Spiritualists that we're going to? Yeah, that's already on the network. So I might be able to zip up there. Hey, some roads have been rebuilt. Love that. So anyways, yeah, my sister let him out. And,
Weapons restrictions
he ended up not getting latched properly. And to be fair, he has a lot of fur. Like, especially around his head and neck, because he's part of a Spitz. I don't know if they ever updated the term for his breed, because his term is not really, like, it hasn't really dated well. Because the Wikipedia and the webpage still use the phrase, so I'll continue to use it. But he is a American Eskimo dog. He's also known as a Cloud Spitz, an American Spitz, or a German Spitz. So, very distinctive look for him. And, it also means lots of fur. But not like a huge dog. He's originally my aunt's dog. But she couldn't really take care of him properly, so she, gave him to my parents before she passed away, and my parents took care of him until they passed away, and now I'm taking care of him. Hopefully, it doesn't mean I'm about to pass away, but this dog has definitely had issues with keeping owners. So, he got latched, right? Early, so Jen let him out to go pee, was doing her thing, and she went to go bring him in, and she opened up, and he was gone. Just like immediately gone. God, this is such a dumb delivery. But anyways, I was asleep when all this occurred. So I woke up to a text message about him. I couldn't really do anything because I had work and they weren't offering any sort of like time off. So I had to wait until my lunch to really like get started looking for him. And thankfully, at least I they have me on an extended lunch right now. That is a terrible climb. But I went out during that and drove probably a couple miles about every way from my house. And from what I could tell through all the fields, but maybe I didn't, because I did drive by the field that he was in, but there's no way I would have seen him from the road. After searching for pretty much my entire lunch, I called it for the day, and I came home, finished up my shift, and by the time I get off work, it's already dark, and trying to find any dog in the dark is not going to be easy. I remember this one sucking a lot. Now that I'm doing it. But, yeah, so I talked to Bim about it last night, and I don't really deal with lost animals that much. And it didn't really occur to me, like, some of the things that I could have been doing to help things like what we called, your local shelters. And I was like, no, but that's a really good idea. So I woke up this morning, they were offering time off, voluntary time off, so I took a few hours. And I originally had that blocked out to look for Ryu. Since I had daylight, I could go look for him. I started the day off by calling the shelter, and I'm so glad I did, because I was talking to the girl, her name was Delaney, the shelter, really nice, and I was talking to her, and it's like, yeah, my dog is missing, I get this, talking about him and where he went missing at, and she said, we actually did get a report about him this morning. And of course, I'm ecstatic. I was like, really? Where? Details, please. And it was probably about half a mile up the road. And it was in one of the directions I looked, but there were some of the side roads I didn't really get to go down because I didn't have time. Because, I have to be wary of other cars and stuff too, so I couldn't just, stop freely everywhere or go 5 miles an hour when other cars are, because I live on a country road and it's busy enough that people come down it, but there's not enough room for people to pass. So I can't really go slow. I have to go kind of the rate of traffic, She was like, yeah, he's at the corner of this road and this road is where they reported him this morning. Nobody approached him because he seemed kind of skittish, which is fair. He is a skittish dog at this point. Scares himself, even to the point of shrieking a little bit. That's kind of what you hear. He's been very skittish for several years now. It sucks, but... yeah, she said that animal control was notified and planned to go out to get him. Or at least check to see if he was still out there. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. It's still 200 meters away. Alright, shit. This is not... you know what? Yes. There. It's not much, but it helps make it down safely. She tells me what where the report came from. So I said, okay, well, I'll just go out and get him, and I'll let you know if I find him, if he's there. I drive, and where I live, there is a ton of horse farms, so there's land aplenty that he would probably be interested in. And I pulled down the road that she told me, which is, I mean, close enough to my place. And this road, thankfully, doesn't have a lot of through traffic, so I was able to drive really slow. And I actually did spot him. He was lying, it was in a field with horses, but he wasn't like with the horses. He was actually pretty far away from them, but he was lying in this like giant mud pit. And like the thing about American Spitz, he's got all this like pure white fur, so every speck of dirt is gonna show up as discoloration. And boy, he was filthy, but he was like lying on his back. And I honestly didn't know if he was alive because he wasn't really moving. Also wasn't right up on him, so he was on the other side of the fence. So I go out and I call his name a few times, and I see his legs start twitching a little bit, and he kind of like wakes up, and he doesn't really know where my voice is coming from. He's had hearing problems now for a couple of years. He's a pretty old dog. He's almost 15, which is like right about the end of his breed's lifespan. He finally figured out where I was, and it took him a bit to get up because of the mud that he kind of kicked himself into, but he probably would have died in that pit if he didn't really have a reason to get up. But seeing me, I guess, gave him whatever motivation he needed, and he got up, and we found a place to get him through under the fence, because it wasn't like I could really, like I could climb the fence, but I couldn't safely climb the fence to him. It was just me. My sister was not available at the moment, or at that moment at least. So, I keep saying we, once he came over to my side, he, picked him up. I put him in the back of my SUV. I already had some towels laid down back there for him, and we got him home. When he got here, I gave him a big old haircut. He needs probably another haircut or two, but honestly, we were both exhausted, and I just want to let him rest up, eat, drink, because he hasn't really ate anything in about 24 hours. But I cut out a lot of like sticks that were mad in his fur and all sorts of stuff. He was not having a good time. I don't think. He seemed pretty happy to be home. He is still skittish. He does still shriek out a little bit, but he seems actually a little bit warmer towards me for going out and getting him, which is, you gotta take what positives you can get in a situation like that, but like I thought he was gone, man.
Is a vital clue. It hails from an era long before the dawn of human history. I'm going to date it and lay bare the cause of the death stranding. And when I do, all the secrets of the cosmos shall be revealed. Did you know this mountain used to be a pyramid in ancient times? It's true. You won't find a place closer to the beach than this. To the wellspring, a source of untold power. How else do you think that chiral network of yours works? But I digress. Show me the stencil. Thank you. It's in excellent condition.
Good, she's gonna join the network. Which is great, because I am not.
Alright, connect me to the chiral.
I am in no mood to make that trip over and over again.
have everything I need to date the stencil. Once I have my results, I'll share them with you and your colleagues at Bridges. You've done a good thing, Sam. If you find anything else, be sure to bring it straight to me. I'll be waiting. You should take this. I'm certain that it will be of use to you in your journey. Until we meet again, my friend.
Please let me go build a zip line.
Sam, it worked. BB-28 is in excellent condition. No evidence of lingering attachments or homesickness either. Perhaps its memory was erased after all. All that remains is for you to hook it up and take it for a run. I was hoping to return it to you as soon as possible, but I don't want to. I mean, I do, but it's a little more complicated than that.
What?
Right.
We've got a problem. You may have heard about the massive supercell heading right for Mountain Knot City. I left my facility to perform some additional tests on the BB in the field, and now I find myself unable to return. You know the cabin on the mountainside, northeast of Mountain Knot? Let's meet there.
Oh yeah, it's actually a pretty big story beat.
Good work. New order available.
How much time do I have? We'll take on the regular version of it, but we're going to be doing premium ones when we get more of this network built. Jeez. That's right, we're going to be using some of these PCC units.
Order assigned. Delivery parameters updated. Time limit set.
All our hopes are with you, Sam.
Restrictions lifted. Construction complete.
Curious. Oh, a truck? Well, that would be awesome. We're in the mountains, my guy. I don't know how somebody even got a truck out here. The next peak we're heading to is that one, because it's one of the highest. Alternatively, that one, if it makes more sense. It's so nice to be able to see. Yeah, we're gonna link up to that zip line. Depends what the view's like, because I need to be able to hit the ones from the mountain here. And once I'm on that network. Put those there so that way I can find my way back if I need to. Or find them even in this mess. Because we're quickly losing visibility. This is probably my favorite thing doing this game, building this network and like finding efficient ways to do stuff. It's really satisfying. I was having a discussion with somebody at work yesterday as I told them I was going through this game, and they're like, yeah, you know, I'm familiar with it, but I wasn't really sure if it's something I'd like. I'm kind of thankful for this letter. Yeah, look at this. Prime zipline spot. Beautiful. It works. Now we just gotta wait. Just gotta wait. But yeah, like this game, I thoroughly enjoy it, but it's also one of the hardest games ever for me to recommend. We are literally carrying ruined cargo at this point. Oh wow, this was a really good spot. 'Cause look at that, I can't see shit, but I crossed all this on foot just a little bit ago. This is gonna take me right to the mountain here. I think. Yeah. I didn't realize that one was so far away. Yeah, I guess it kinda is. Few tips, huh? Again, zipline. To cut out most of the delivery.
By the way, here's hoping you don't.
We're gonna recycle that ruined resin really quick. It probably won't be much, but there's really no reason for me to continue carrying it, you know? I still get the resin out of it? Oh shit, I did. Awesome.
Thank you for your contribution.
Alright. Let's buggy.
Keep on keeping on. Weapons restrictions lifted.
We're gonna get this delivery done and out not real quick. Then we'll continue the story. This won't be a really long session. Though we are gonna play again tonight after I get off work. Unless they kick me out. Because they might just kick me out and tell me not to work the rest of the day, which would kinda suck, but I get it. See how they're doing with the road. Or we can try to see. This weather's not going to make it easy though. Alright, so if there's any piece of that road that's done, it doesn't really stretch up here, which I kind of expected that. We probably need to rest in the private room also, because our stamina is taking some long-term hits, and you can't restore that by drinking water or energy drink, I guess.
Hey, Sam. Look, I'm sorry to impose on you once again, but we wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. Wow, I tell you, we're going to get through this. Thank you.
Good work. New order.
Ooh. We can do these anytime, but like I can get all these deliveries done. Probably 5 minutes. Cause I have a network pretty much through the mountains, except for Hartman's Lake down there, and then the southern area that turns into a whole new thing when we get there. No, we're gonna actually give Sam some real rest because he actually got pretty tore up out there. We ended up also running into a nightmare last time.
Sam. Blood collection complete. Thank you for your generosity.
There was a figure standing in the shower. And it gave us a big old jump scare right at the end of the last session. Oh, what was I going to look for? I don't remember now. I was going to read all that mail, but we can do that later. Since we're definitely dealing with snow, we want to have extra stamina. So it gives us a whole nother segment, even though it's a temporary one. Alright, so is that a cabin? Oh, see, he's like right in between the, it'd probably be easier to go to the spiritualist and then come back. So what I'm gonna do, a more reasonable load.
Order assigned. Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Ooh, our
Safe travels.
our power legs are actually not doing so high. You can see all the rust and damage on them. We're gonna need a new pair soon.
Weapons restriction.
I'm so glad that these next two zip lines were there. They saved one of the hardest parts. It saved me from having to do them. It was awesome. I don't know if we can zip right up to that next one. I think... Really? This bridge is silly. That's where they want us. I think no, it's not. Get this delivery done for the spiritualist really quick. Oh, look at that supercell. Holy shit. That looks terrible. A couple screenshots of that.
Welcome. I see you've taken...
Sorry, skipping all that stuff just makes sense.
You should take this.
More trinkets. She's a spiritualist, so I guess it makes sense.
Do continue to take pride in your work.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal. Further information.
Thank you for the expedited.
Just kind of cleaning up some of the markers. Actually, this is dumb, I know. No, it's not. It'll be fine. I'll bitch about it later. I was gonna make a new pair of boots. But we're just gonna swing around this mountain. This cabin sucks. Just to give y'all that warning. That's why I'm not trying to do any deliveries on the way to it. I only go here once. Don't mind me, it's heading into the heart of the storm. This mountain sucks. There's the cabin.
Just like last time. The supercell.
This is too good of a screenshot opportunity. I gotta get it. I can get up there, damn it, when he stops stumbling. Probably have to go from high up. It's dumb, but how do you... Is it the touchpad?
I'll see you soon.
Okay, so it's the touchpad in R3. It's not very flattering pose, is it? He's really trying to keep it together there. Because he's cold as shit. Might raise the camera a little bit. I like that one a little better. Alright. Sorry for that. Gotta get our thumbnail for the session. Oh shit. I should have known I would eat shit going down that. Right, you. Right, you. He has been coming back here a fair amount since he's been home. What an out-of-the-way place did, man. It's too late. All right. Come on, buddy. Ryu. He's standing in the door. Come here, Ryu. You want pets? He was really hungry when he got home. Here he comes. Hi, buddy. Boy, we still gotta get you cleaned up, don't we? I cut a lot of the kind of filth out of the hair that needed to be cut anyways, so I figured there's no reason to clean it and then just cut it off anyways, so I cut off some of the worst parts of it. I like to cut his coat a bit shorter when we're approaching warmer weather. Good boy. If my camera pointed low enough, I'd show him to y'all, but at the same time, he's not really looking his finest right now. Look for the big red dog.
Sam! Sam!
Dead man.
Oh, thank God I got through.
Where are you?
No idea. I'm seeing tanks and soldiers. The uniforms date back over a century. World War II era, I
World
suspect.
War One.
Did you see the man leading the soldiers?
No.
Actually, this might be
I think
World
it's
War
the guy
II
you
era,
told us about.
'cause I think it
Born
progresses.
and bred warrior asshole who's gunning for BB.
He must be our ticket home, right?
Don't ask me. This is only my second time. And without BB, he'll be hard to find.
Lucky for you, I've got BB here in tip-top shape, just waiting for you. Where should we meet?
Is there anything unusual or distinct near you?
I'm in the sewers. Hang on. I can see a tower through a hole. A square tower, right above my position.
Gotcha. I'll find it and search for a sewer entrance. Can you sit tight for now?
Gladly. I won't move an inch.
Yeah, well, if I'm slow, you might have to.
What?
That warrior asshole. He wasn't after me. He was after BB.
Fuck me.
Right. If he's looking for anyone, it's you.
Oh no. Hurry the hell up, Sam.
Keep it together. I'm on my way. And don't hook up BB either. You'll lead him straight to you.
Oh boy.
Not that you would, since you hate them.
I just did because I was scared to death.
Disconnect, now.
Already done.
Don't let him take BB.
How? If he shows up with his soldiers, what do you expect me to do? Fight back? If I have to choose between BB and myself, well...
You won't. I'm ending the call.
Sam, it's not easy being me. No wife, no children, no friends. And so I sought solace, sought company in the dead. Over time, I made them a part of me. 70% of who I am today. But meeting you has opened my eyes. You're very special, Sam.
The bags are very useful. I'm just curious. Say, man, I would have hit something back here. Diving in. Rise safe on the doorway. Oh. Come on, get all this shit off my screen. Thank you, Buck.
I'll see you soon.
Hold on. That's... I don't know why this is only just now getting on my damn nerves. Nope. Just to keep the same shit from coming up over and over again. And it just lingers. Oh, there was a ladder. Would a hematic grenade even be helpful here?
Dead man! Look! Crying doesn't help me. Dead man! Dead man! Look! Sam! Over here! Sam! Lou.
The little one should be working again. Let me see. Oh, well then.
Unless you plan on fighting Mads Mikkelsen, you better hand the baby over now.
Maybe this is a special beach for soldiers who died in battle.
Maybe we should get the hell out of here.
Yes.
I'm surprised. I thought you would have abandoned BB by now.
Discard precious hardware? Never.
You were talking about it.
So, do you still share memories? I see.
Stay here. Seems like I got other memories to tend to. I'm taking him down as you get us both out of here.
You know, Sam, I'm starting to understand why BB is so important to you.
Huh?
It's just a tool. Life and death are supposed to be irrelevant. But we've got attached to each other all the same, haven't we?
Kid's not just a tool. Name's Lou.
Lou, huh? That's a good name.
Got his head stuck in them bars. He should be safer.
Yeah.
This part actually sucks. I remember being stuck out for quite a while. It's interesting seeing him wearing normal equipment, like much more modern equipment, but then all the soldiers are wearing, you know, World War I, World War II era equipment. You know, they can just ignore it. They can see the auto deck. So the thing is,
I was... Well, where are you, BB? I want my BB back.
like, fighting him generally isn't the way to go, from my understanding.
Where are you, BB? Rally and regroup. My dear BB. Ride him up. We need reinforcements. Get back out there. Where's Peggy? My dear lady. I was born to fight.
They have no fucking fear, man. They're above me. Light them up.
Let's
get to work.
There's punk ass ass.
We need reinforcements. Move, 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 move.
That was not as smooth as I would have liked.
Bring it to me.
They knew they needed to protect the shit out of him. That's why they all teleported up there.
Maybe this is all my fault. I should never have put you in that prison.
All sorts of trophies. Happy as a clam. Just kidding.
Lou. Lou? Lou?
How's little Lou doing?
No response.
Well, look at that. The child's taking a shine to me. You two were out cold, so I had you brought here. You were right. Whatever you did back there returned us to our own world. I put your cargo and gear in your private box. You slept for a whole day, you know. Slept like the dead. I'm already back in Capital Knot. Fragile's beach has been coming in handy. Sam, I owe you an apology. Lou was the name you were going to give your own baby if he'd had made it. I should have pieced it together sooner.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I found some records from 10 years ago. A death, sudden, in the middle of a town. Young woman in the prime of her life. Nobody knew until it was too late. A void out. Her husband, who was a member of Bridges, had dooms. He tried, but he couldn't get to her in time. The whole town was wiped off the map, leaving nothing but a big crater and him. Because he was a repatriate. People wanted answers. Did the man hide his wife's body on purpose? The only survivor was the only suspect. He was easy to blame, and people did. And pretty soon, they were blaming Bridges too. The man felt responsible, so he left. And his wife, who died, her name was Lucy. She'd been pregnant, poor woman. They were going to name their son Lou.
Didn't happen.
But it did. President Strand told me. She talked about you all the time. He didn't have to cut all ties and walk away, she said.
You wanna shut the fuck up?
Calm down, Sam. Take a seat.
If you weren't a hologram, I'd fucking deck you in the face.
I told you before about my body. 70% harvested from cadavers. Do you want to know the real reason why? Because the story you've heard is one I made up. The truth is, I'm Frankenstein's monster. Artificial, grown from pluripotent stem cells. And when that vital spark didn't manifest in all my organs, they replaced the defective ones with those of the dead. I never had a birthday.
Hey, Brian.
I'm a soulless, meat puppet. No ka, a dead man. People born the traditional way have beaches. You have one. BB too. But I have no such connections. No mother. No afterlife. No beach. You see now why I'm so obsessed with it all? Why I joined Bridges? The battlefield. Now that was an awful beach. But strangely, I didn't hate it. Because I knew you were coming for me. I've never felt that before. Connected to someone, anyone. You didn't have to cut all ties and walk away. The president was right about that much.
wasn't anything to walk away from. It's not like I was ever welcome there.
Come on. Even I was welcome. Oh, that. You were holding it. It's an old dog tag. U.S. issue. Wasn't easy prying it out of your hand. Clifford Unger, as you can see. I looked him up in our database. Found a match. He was U.S. Army Special Forces. Fought in Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan.
That's him.
Well, that's all I've managed to dig up so far. You must be caked in chiral matter from the battlefield. Time for a shower, I'd say. Oh, I won't be joining you this time. The Die Hardman issue is no longer a concern. I've seen to it that our conversations won't be recorded.
Sam, do you copy? As you might have suspected, time here stopped while you two were on that battlefield. If my thinking is correct, the dimension to which you traveled is a kind of beach. To explain a little, our bodies, our ha, all occupy the same world, but our souls, our ka, have beaches all their own. These beaches are given form inside our brains by our beliefs, religion, philosophy, and so forth. As a result, a beach can be anything, and those anythings form a multiverse. However, if many people die at once, their beaches can become entangled, creating a strand field. This phenomenon is exacerbated in wartime by omnipresent feelings of resentment and despair. Beaches are more easily and frequently entangled. On such a beach, exits vanish and experiences cycle endlessly. Picture it like a record player. The needle skips, playing the same phrase again and again. They're fighting a battle that has no beginning or end. Round and round it goes. Now, the battlefield you visited was in Eastern Europe in World War II. Which is strange, given that the man you encountered, Clifford Unger, played no part in that conflict. I can't explain it, but if you can connect me to the chiral network, who knows what we might discover.
EX grenade number 0.
Still there, Sam? If so, I have a request. When you're ready, head upstairs to the delivery terminal.
Wait, what name did they pick? Oh, they're naming him Sam. That's adorable.
Can I help you? Holy shit. John, is that you? What are you doing here? My wife's checked in. They don't want a repeat of last year. didn't know you were perfect.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain locked until departure. All clear.
Sam, the west side of that region is covered by a massive tar belt. Beyond it is Edgenot City, the last bastion of civilization you'll find that far out. It's your final destination. Once you use the Cupid to connect it, the chiral network will span the entire continent. The rebirth of America is so close. And remember, that's where Amelie is being held captive. We need you to bring her home safely. But before you cross the tar belt, there's one more knot we need you to tie. Hartman will help you get it done.
Sam, I'd like for you to bring me a few things. First, the dog tags you took from that soldier. Tuck them away in a pocket so you don't misplace them. Second, Mama's corpse. Her body shows no signs of necrosis, and I, for one, would like very much to know the reason why. Closer study may yield information that could prove instrumental in helping us to overcome the Death Stranding. Suffice it to say, 1 minute remaining. I don't have much time. See to your preparations. I'll be waiting. You'll find an official order on the terminal.
It kind of sucks. It's gonna really limit what we can hold. I like to build the network as I go through. Just in case we need a little diversity with it. We are going to fabricate some new boots and the new power skeleton.
All right, Sam. Take care of her. And don't worry, she won't go necro. Millingen's special. Be funny if these Ha of ours ended up being the key to saving us all.
Glad they didn't show like that whole process. Oh, I am still wearing the other one. Well, that's okay. I needed to replace it anyways. Yes, we needed a new one. This other one was getting really damaged. So Hartman's lab essentially requires... God damn it. You have to cross that mountain range. That's why I put that one out there earlier. So we have something to zip to.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
So, oh shit. Can we hit that? Please tell me we can hit that. It's not ideal, admittedly. But if it can save me the trip up there the first time, is look at all this I don't have to climb. They could have put this a bit higher. I probably will still do so. The only thing is the one of the zip lines might need to be updated. Or upgraded, rather. Give it that extra distance. Come on, grab something, fuck!
Oh, damn, I'm sorry.
We love online zip lines. Ooh, you're okay. See, this is almost a straight shot, like right to his lab. But with a small issue. Oh no, we can make this work. Shit, it will need an update. For the moment, I'm okay with this because I know I'll be able to hit it when I upgrade. You're gonna be one of the first ones that I do an upgrade for. And we should be able to zip down.
Still not done yet.
To around there. Though it'd probably be more convenient to zip down.
Construction complete.
Like there. Hey, what's up? How you doing, man? Yeah, we're streaming for about another hour and 15 minutes, like guaranteed. But then afterwards, we're gonna. I need to check and see if they are gonna give me the rest of the day off from work. And if they are, we're just gonna keep streaming. And if they're not, then I'm gonna finish up my shift. I'm doing pretty good. We're gonna have to get him on the network before we can finish up that zip.
Stands a shadow of a man shaped just like me. My curiosity keeps me confused. But still I stand here on my own, with nothing left in
I'm doing pretty good now that I've got my my dog back. He's sleeping in my doorway. He ran off a couple days ago. We really need to fabricate some new boots.
Simply trouble my walk home and my spirit. Because I never said no or put up a fight.
Delivery complete. Displaying performance evaluation.
Get this man on the network.
Request to join UCA. Registered. Awaiting Cupid connection.
Yeah, I gave him a head pat, I gave him a haircut, and when we're both feeling a little bit more energetic, he's going to get a full-on bath. But he seems to be unharmed. He ran off yesterday morning. I found him sleeping in a pit of mud at a horse farm about a half mile up the road or so.
Please proceed into the facility with the cadaver. Good work.
Alright, let's go ahead and fabricate some stuff.
Thermal pad. Indispensable gear for cold weather operations. Especially useful when traversing snow-capped mountains.
Yeah, and he's an American Spitz, so like he gets really like he's a very white dog. So the mud just cakes on him and every little blemish shows. We got new boots and a backup pair ready to roll.
Delivering cargo.
Now let's get this corpse off our back, huh?
Please proceed into the facility with the cadaver.
Oh, oops. Make sure it's dead.
Well, you certainly caught me with my pants down. Glad you could make it, Sam. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to alarm you, but I am what I am. Ah, please lay her down there. Still no sign of them.
You know your heart stops beating.
It stops every 21 minutes. I spend 3 minutes on the beach, and then return. 60 deaths and 60 resurrections per day. 60 opportunities to search the beach for my departed family. This is how I live. This is my life. So, while you've traveled to and from the sea an impressive number of times, my beach count is a little higher. 218,549. I see myself in that crater. My wife and my child. It's like looking at the shape of my heart. The doctors called it myocardial cordophobia. Mine is an especially unusual case. I have pictures. Care to see Hartman's heart-shaped heart?
That's a phrase. No, Hartman's heart-shaped heart.
It doesn't run in the family. You know, I never came to terms with their loss. In the days that followed, I became obsessed with an idea that the beach is real and they are on it. I would induce cardiac arrest, 3 minutes at a time, and search for them, day after day after day.
Also, you could say goodbye.
Quite the opposite. It is said that everyone's beach is different. So what if everyone's afterlife is different too? I find the thought terrifying, spending eternity alone, which is why I decided to find my family and make sure to move on with them.
You mean die with them?
If death would see us reunited, then yes. But the repeated cardiac arrests took their toll on my heart. The muscle gradually deformed. And after a while, they started calling me the beach scientist. Hartman. I'm glad we could have this conversation. A body that doesn't necrotize. No sign of decomposition. It's as if she were still alive. The perfect mummy. An impeccable corpse.
What's wrong?
Where's the other thing you were supposed to bring? Ah, found it. Behold.
Wait, dead man?
It appears to be an umbilical cord. Human by the looks of it, I think. But this was no ordinary conduit between fetus and placenta. It looks more like a BT's tether. And this was Mama's?
I don't know.
Yes. A body that doesn't necrotize and an umbilical cord connected to the beach. These are remarkable discoveries, Sam. Enough to set my sore heart racing.
He loves the sunlight.
Cardiac arrest.
I apologize if our conversation gets cut short. I must go back to the beach and look for my wife and child. One person, one beach. That's the rule. But I'm the exception. My beach is connected to others, as if it were the beneficiary of a coronary bypass. Maybe this twisted heart of mine made it possible. All I know is that I will find them. even if my every visit raises new questions. I'll have my answers one day. One day.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
The battlefields. The endless wars you found yourself trapped in. Why do World War-era soldiers wander the beach a century after they fell? Normally the souls of the dead move on. The beach is just a corridor, a place through which they pass on the way to the other side. But if regret, resentment, a fervent desire to remain, if these feelings are powerful enough, they may give rise to an altogether different beach, a collective purgatory for an army of the damned. Clifford Unger. His misery and hatred, combined with your BB acting as some sort of catalyst, have brought these battlefields to our world.
2 minutes to cardiac arrest. Please proceed to a safe location.
It's just a theory.
You think Higgs is pulling the strings? Pulling all their strings?
Ensure you are in a stable position.
I don't know. But evidence does suggest that Higgs brought them here.
1 minute remaining. Please hold on to something secure.
Oh, before I forget, I have a favor to ask.
Activating lab security measures.
Could you just relax until I come back? Time stops on the beach, but not in the scene. Rest assured, it'll only feel like 3 minutes to you. We'll continue this shortly.
5, 4.
That has to be annoying.
2, 1.
So now we have time to kill. It's like we can't move or anything. We can just look around. You never know which one of these is gonna like give you a zoom. It's farming likes, baby. This isn't so much of a horror game. He's about to come back.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
Oh!
No luck. Visit 218,550. Oh, sorry. Where were we? I may be used to the 21-minute cycle, but for a first-time face-to-face meeting, there's just too much to cover in one go-around.
Can't be easy living like this.
Yes. And no. Now that I'm acclimated to it, it isn't especially, onerous. Defecation, pollution, nutrition. Most of life's basic functions fit rather easily into a 21-minute time slot. Sleep is the tricky one. And intercourse, I suppose. Verbal or physical. Not that someone in my position has to worry much about either. Do you read, Sam? Listen to music. Watch films? You know, I keep busy. I have a collection of music.
How do you
television
even
shows,
watch all this
some
stuff?
Very interesting short films and stories. Everything consumable within a 21-minute window. All from before the Death Stranding, of course. But honestly, the 21 minutes I spend here, all downtime, nothing more. Time spent waiting to go back to the search. My body may be present, but my soul is on the beach.
No, I'm a video game. I shoot stuff.
I'm already dead.
I know that feeling.
I carry things
Lost
that
my
build
family
zip
in an
lines.
accident.
Well, I never expected you to open up to me.
Don't push your luck. He's always throwing up them likes.
It happens. I've read about your circumstances. I lost my family in an accident too. I was in the ICU having heart surgery, out of town, in the city. When it was clear that I was going to pull through, my wife took my daughter back to the house to collect some things for me. And then they were caught in the void outs. The city and the hospital were spared the worst, but the shockwave knocked out the power and my life support. I woke up on the beach. The people who died in the two void outs were there. What happened? What's going on? I saw my wife and my daughter in the procession. Hey! It's me! Where are you going? Wait!
He's getting brought back to life.
Don't leave without me! No! Don't go! Please, don't go! The ICU's backup generator kicked in, and I was brought back to life by the defibrillator. exactly 21 minutes after my heart had stopped. And that was the last time I saw my family. It's my damned heart's fault that we were torn apart. But it's also the reason I'll see them again someday. It defines me. I am Hartman. Ever since, I've walked the beaches of others. I follow my family's footsteps for a while, and when I get tired, I return here to continue my research. It's funny though, even when my heart stops, the pain lingers. You have any family photographs, Sam? Pity.
5 minutes to cardiac arrest.
You mind telling me what I'm doing here before you go back to the
Get this
beach?
shit out of here.
Of course. There's a prepper-owned station in this area. Our scientists stationed there are researching material from before the Death Stranding.
What kind of material?
The Earth has a long memory. It's trying to tell a story, one that goes back to the very beginning, one that not even the Death Stranding could erase. The scientists are all colleagues of mine from the earlier expedition. I'd like you to bring them onto the chiral network. Amelie proposed we establish our research posts along this belt. Despite
You
a
said
worldwide search, this
nothing.
is the only area known to contain fossils from the late Cretaceous period, when the dinosaurs died out. The assumption being that the last ones lived here, and here alone. You see, hiding in the Earth then are memories of a major mass extinction. Clues that could tell us how to survive our predicament. Certainly, that was Amelie's hope as part of the advanced team when she assigned our backup team here. The past informs the present and aids us in building the future. She was careful to impress that upon us before she went west.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
Shut up. I'm putting you on mute. Sometime later, we began to observe unusual activity in the tar belts outside Edgenot City. Vast quantities of tar began surfacing, spreading, consuming many of my colleagues, as well as a chiral way station. The whole incident defied explanation.
You think Higgs is to blame?
I don't know, but we needed that way station. It was essential to expanding the chiral network westward. That's why I'm asking you for your help in building a new one. It won't be much given the handful of equipment we've managed to scrape together. Nothing like the knot cities, that's for sure. But a knot is still a knot. Sam, I want you to use the Cupid to put the scientists on the network, then go to Amelie. Afterwards, we can get back to the important job of researching the deaths.
That's why his floor is cushioned.
The air mat floor absorbs the impact. I'll unlock the door for you.
I had no Die Hardman's in there, the whole time. Turn that fucking music off. Yeah, boy.
Sam, you heard him. You can grab the order at a delivery terminal. Our ultimate objective in this region is to build a replacement for a way station that was lost to the tar. The first step is to put a shelter with our scientists on the chiral network. Now, we don't know the first thing about Emily's status or what Higgs is up to. That's a concern for us as much as you. But we won't know more until we get to Edge Knot City. And that means connecting this region first. You should start with the geologist and the paleontologist.
All right, these guys are assholes to get to.
So I recommend you save her for last. That way you can finish a delivery and link up the final site in one go. Once all three are on the grid, come back here. Then we can get to work on the replacement for that lost way station.
These are some of the last ones. And I'm actually fine with just doing the geologist first.
A geologist of ours has been studying fossils as part of his research into prehistoric extinction events. He's been out there conducting excavations for a while now and has begun to suffer the effects of chiral contamination. No doubt the result of excessive exposure to chiralium during the dig. Until the site is properly decontaminated, his work can't proceed. Nor will his health improve. So we need you to bring him some chiralium scrubbing agents.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
The stratum the team was investigating dates from the end of the Cretaceous period, the time of the infamous mass extinction, which brought the reign of the dinosaurs to a close, leaving small mammals to inherit the Earth. It's the most recent of the Big Five, and one of the largest mass extinctions the world has ever seen. In any event, our team found something truly remarkable. Can you guess what it was? A fossil beach. If that is indeed what it is, then he has made a tremendous discovery. Therefore, Sam, it is essential that you deliver those chiralium scrubbing agents as soon as possible.
Alright. I don't think I need to fabricate anything. Ooh. Yeah, it's a little cleaner. Yeah, we gotta get these other PCC units online before they're ruined. Burnt, as an old roommate used to say.
Sam, so Hartman told you all about the lake. How the attack that created it changed his life forever? Not only did he lose his family, he very nearly lost himself. For 21 minutes, he was in a state of cardiopulmonary arrest. Under normal circumstances, he would have died. Therapeutic hypothermia saved his life. But the 21 minutes he spent on the other side had a lasting effect on him. Perhaps due to the shock, his Doom's abilities seem to have increased. And now he takes every opportunity to walk the beach in search of his family.
My apologies, Sam. You came all this way to visit me, yet I neglected to give you a proper farewell. Do be careful out there. As I mentioned before, this region is rich in memories of death and extinction. It should come as no surprise that BTs are sighted here more frequently. Perhaps you recall the models in my lab. Their designs were all based on eyewitness accounts. Though I suppose they must have struck you as strange, considering the many times you've come face to face with the real McCoy.
Important thing is we're getting this online. This isn't a very good zipline, admittedly. I'll probably end up still putting my own down. But for the initial trip, you won't hear me complain too much about it. hit the edge of the network. Out of morbid curiosity. Well, we're actually near the limit, but we could probably get up there with the zip line after we get this network set up. There's a BT to my left. We're gonna try to go up this, even though it looks really sketch. BTs don't tend to stay on mountains. It's not 100% fact, I don't believe, but it's generally a safe rule. And the geologist is way over here. We are heading kind of the wrong way. Shit. We really lucked out there. While general rule, it's not a hard rule. We're still 320 meters away. If I remember right, they are very far down the mountain. And one of the biggest pain in the ass to get the zip network set up for, because you have to do some really silly shit to get out that way. Sadly, we're off the network, so... Just gotta make the best of it. Okay, they're pretty far ahead of us. I'm just happy we got out of it without getting dragged away, as that was really close. I feel like we took kind of a roundabout way to get here, but we're close. Is that a BT? Nope. I have no idea. Wait, we're on the network? Fucking whiteout music, how awesome. 61 meters. We're almost there. Just have to find a good place to get down, which, if I remember right, is difficult. I mean, dude, if you're already on the network, then hold for just a gosh darn moment. Oh, well, that's so dumb. He's on. We're in a place that's covered by the network, but apparently we're not.
Thank God for that. I was worried you might not get here in time. But then I've done nothing but worry of late. I've been haunted by those visions you doom sufferers see. That end of days stuff. I put the nightmares down to fatigue. Possibility of chiral contamination never even occurred to me. It's just lucky we got it before the suicidal stage. Dying's not an option. My research is nowhere near complete. It's not just my life you're saving here. It's my life's work. I started to wonder if I'd ever see these meds. I guess you really are good at what you do, huh? Thank you.
Good. He's getting around the network. Good.
Oh, yes. Right then. If you'd do the honors.
A new climbing anchor. Does it have a longer rope?
And just like that, I'm part of the UCA. With access to a treasure trove of historical research materials. Studying this fossil beach should be a good deal easier now. Assuming I can prove once for all that that's what it is. Honestly, though, I'm just excited I can finally share these findings with everyone. Can you believe I found chiral deposits in strata dating back 65.5
Right.
million years? Evidence of an ancient death stranding.
Chiral matter has existed on Earth since long before the dawn of man. This stratum is proof of that. Look at this, Sam. Do you see that black fissure there? We believe this is the source of the Chiralian readings. In the distant past, earthquakes cause frictional melting along fault lines, producing layers of what is known as pseudotachylite. We call these layers fossil earthquakes. Extending the principle, our fissure here is what one might term a fossil beach. The presence of chiralium in this of all strata cannot be a mere coincidence. It strongly suggests that beaches must have appeared during the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, and not just then. The chiral network has recovered data suggesting that similar fossil beaches were discovered in strata corresponding to other extinction events too. That would seem to indicate the Big Five and all other major extinctions were accompanied by the appearance of beaches. In expanding the chiral network, you've helped us glimpse a pattern in these scattered points of data. You've furthered our individual research projects and ensured that it is only a matter of time before we recover all we have lost and solve every mystery that remains. But this is only the beginning. See this through, Sam, and there's no telling what we might learn.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
Important thing is we're on the network, and oh hey, we're not far from the roboticist. We're technically heading back this way anyway, so let's do it.
Order assigned.
You know, I just realized I may need another PCC or two. That should give me enough wiggle room to build these towers.
That's what?
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Another structure, you say? Well, this is fixable. Get this shit out of here.
Please stand clear of the designated construction area. Structure dismantled.
Interesting.
Construction complete.
So we're gonna get to the top of this mountain and put another one. Rest. We're essentially forcing as much weight as we can down to keep us from slipping. Resting again. That's someone else's precious paintings that got fucked up. I get it. Why are we not turning left? See, I can't really rush it unless I know I have the climb prompt. Uh-oh. Ooh. Come on, Sam. Sometimes he just sees himself down and he'll stumble in a direction and you can't control what direction. Oh, that's a hell of a drop. Boy, this ended up being a one-way trip, huh? There has to be a decent way up. This might be our ticket. No! a hell of a spill. Come on. Sam, you've climbed worse. Thank you. Damn. This timefall's ruining all my equipment before I can even get up here. We're trying to get to the very tip top. And I know it can be done. Oh yeah, I'm hopeful. It's just a matter of finding the best. Oh really? Come on, Sam, you were standing on that. Oh god, there's more. We're not even at the highest peak. Stamina way too quick. Hopefully this next path. There is some player equipment here. That should help out immensely, because like this is such an ideal spot for one of these. Ladders, pretty great. Keep going. We're still not really at the highest peak yet. Fuck. Yeah, this isn't even the highest peak. Let me, because I can't see shit, which is unfortunate. My zip line is there. I would need to be able to see it at all times. So it's down that mountain. So yeah. Okay, this is the highest part. There's apparently another one. Oh yeah, there is. When we're up here, we can actually kind of see everything.
Under construction.
Oh.
Construction complete.
We may have to redo this one later, but this is a pretty okay spot for the time being. But yeah, all that just to get up here. We went all the way around and came up from the back. If I could hit that one, we'd get right to Hartman's lab. But it's a little out of range. But knowing I can just kind of go down and get to it, that works. Because that, I wanted to put one over there anyways. Fucking whiteout. hate to say it, this might actually be the spot. I don't like that it's so close to another one, but given the terrain, like it's almost a necessity. Oh, that's no good. That's no good at all. I can't cheese it with height. I can hit one that's over there. And of course I can hit that one, but we're gonna need to move to a not as high position. Thank you, by the way. Huh. Come on! We're still really good on range for this one, so what I honestly am thinking of doing. Maybe this peak right here. We are starting to get into a funky place. Alright, I think this is the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So our zipline network is now connected all the way over to the geologist. We just have to pass through Hartman's.
Construction complete.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you.
Whew. That was rough, y'all.
Delivery complete. Displaying performance. Thank you for your continued support. Good work. New order available. Please access the...
Because that thing was ruined anyways. This sucks. The paleontologist is not on the network like, at all. How far can we get out with the network? So there's the geologist. The paleontologist is somewhere. No, they don't have marked on my map yet. But somewhere in this region. This is as far as the network goes. Which, I mean, it goes away. but like I could build one that goes out some of the way. The reason why I'm looking at it like this is because I need to like, this is such a fragile delivery that I want to take the yeah, it's they're right there, so let's bring up the map again. Let's say they're right here. Because I remember this clearing, and I can get like most of the way there if I put a zip like along the way, and then I can just take it on foot the rest of the way. That makes more sense to me, because this is an antimatter bomb. Antimatter bombs are very fragile. I can't even see the other one that I built up there. It's there somewhere. Usually you can see them from forever away though.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
There it is. It just hadn't loaded in yet. Is this taking us the way we want to go? Yes. Might as well use it to cut some of the distance out, right? Get over this BT area. And there might be another one linked to it. I'm pretty sure there's not. Just pushing it right to the edge of the network. We safely got about 15 to 20 minutes left, and then I have to go check and see if they kicked me out for the rest of the day. We are barely away from that. Like, here, there is a safe way to test. So we're 107 meters. We still have a little while we can go. Yeah, he moves very quickly on those zip lines, but you can see how crucial they are. We are wearing some power gloves and a power skeleton. That helps us take some of the impact more gracefully. Damn. Here's the problem. So I'm 81 meters away. The distance is great. The height is an absolute problem. It may be better as much as I don't want to do it, to set up here. This part of the network's going to have to be cleaned up. For sure, but I won't be able to until I get at least a rudimentary network set up. So it's only 221, man. What about if I get to this one? Would that be too far? I wonder. Oh, I might actually cross the forbidden line here. You know what, for now, I'm gonna do it. In worst case scenario, I will get rid of it later. We are at the edge of the network.
Ain't ready.
I know it ain't ready, Sam.
Construction complete.
Skip most of that trip now. It was worth. Because we're probably traveling, what, about 800 to 900 meters in the span of like a minute.
Listen up, Sam. For this run, you'll be transporting an antimatter bomb. Bridges' paleontologist working on a dig says he needs it. Apparently, the fossils he wants to study are buried deep beneath tar, and the only way he can get to them is by blowing it wide open. Now, hopefully I don't need to tell you to be extra careful when handling high-yield explosives, but in case I do, make sure you keep that container in one piece, no matter what.
Did you at least put it in housing that'll play nice with this kind of delivery? No, you didn't.
Sam, I'm sure you haven't forgotten, but you need to be extremely careful with that antimatter bomb, especially when transporting it by a carrier or vehicle. Any irregularities should trigger an alarm. Don't ignore it.
Just casually carrying a bomb, no big deal, right? Yeah, we're essentially a walking nuclear bomb right now. This isn't the first time they've ever given me a bomb. This is just the most recent time. So I came prepared for this delivery. Look at that. The bomb is perfectly happy being transported like this. And then we just have to do the last little bit ourselves. Hopefully, I guesstimated their location well enough. But we're skipping all these. And how far away is this one? So I think we were about at the max limit. Yeah, 287. I'm pretty happy with that. The name of the game going forward is stability. Okay, we did really good with our guess. Yeah, it loves it. Especially getting cargo slammed on it. The only thing that sucks is that the paleontologist is very far down. It's cooling, right? Yeah, totally. So I did not anticipate scaling down an entire mountain. But going down is generally easier than going up. But we are going to take it nice and easy. We're starting to slide a little bit. You can use it as a surfboard. Oh yeah. Ride the wave. Yep. Oh. I'm surprised it tolerated that. It doesn't seem as finicky when you're carrying it. Fuck, I didn't like that. Well, I didn't jump, but I might as well have. We were so close, we saw it. Let's give it another try. Running makes it fussy too, doesn't it? No. But you gotta see what happens when you don't deliver it successfully. The only thing is, and see, this is what I don't get. People will suggest things to me, and it's usually entirely in jest. But they'll suggest things to me that are just gonna set me back. I'm like, do you really want to watch the same thing again? Because now we could do all that over again. I'm not saying that I did that because of your suggestion, but I get stuff like that a lot when people are in here. They'll tell me, oh yeah, like fuck around and do this thing. And I'm like, but then it'll be game over, and then we're trying to do it again. Alright, that sucked, but was it fun? Oh, we're just gonna say I slipped on banana peel. Who the fuck was eating bananas at the zip line? Jerry, what's good, man? It's been a while. Hope you're doing good.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, the stream, if I have to work, it's only going to go on for another probably 5 or 10 minutes. So I have to be back essentially before 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm not working until 9. Alright, let's try this again. The thing is, we cut out like 70 to 80% of this trip. The last 20% sucked. So there goes the milk store set. And the thing is, I could get lost at the milk store. Because I really like milk. Though it doesn't like me as well, but that's fine. Ooh, that was a hefty boy. Yeah, I think what my plan is going to be is I keep altering it a little bit for streaming. I at least want to kind of focus on the story for this one, but then when we get into, because I'll be doing an entire platinum run here on stream, but I'm not going to make every session Death Stranding once we get to that part. I'll probably weave in something else. I'm not entirely sure what. Fuck! Come on! Why'd he slip down all the rocks? I've done that move 100 times! Alright. We're gonna get a little bit more prepared for this. Oh, fuck you, give me... That's a slap in the face. He has another banana peel. Somebody was munching on bananas up here. What's the length on this one? It's still just... Oh, you can hold more anchors. Okay. Actually... I have my reasons. We're gonna stop taking dumb risks. That's a joke. Funny enough, that's this whole little segment here. First time I've died in this game during this run of it. Not even been near death up to this point. Of course, it would take an antimatter bomb to do the job. Small flex, small flex. Well, I'll flex when I next get this fucking thing delivered. For now, it's big stress. Now see, this is a move I make a lot, but now I'm terrified. Because normally I would just get a little bit higher, drop, okay, we're good. So I brought 2 of these anchors. I want to make sure I'm using them at really worthwhile points. You are not building up speed like that. No, you're not, sir. Pro tip, don't fall. Pro tip, shoot demons to kill them. You mean there's a fucking zipline right there? So I'm thinking this is going to be the first spot. Granted, our landing is going to really suck. Sam, you are not dropping. I'm purposely walking as slow as I can to keep you on this train. Imagine bowing to the whims of gravity. I say nay. Fucking nay. Is it past this mountain range too? No. This has actually been mostly an easier path. Just goes to show, friends, sometimes you just have to try something a little different. Now watch, I really will slip on a fucking banana peel or something here in a minute. Alright, we should be in the clear. Y'all, I have a primal urge to slide down this hill. And I know I should. True. Oh man, yeah, let's get down, because I can't risk this. This area is one of the worst, because it's a lot of very high peaks and a lot of very low valleys. I hate it. We made it! We did it!
Much appreciated, friend. Thanks to you, we can finally move ahead with the dig. I swear, this place is bad enough without having to worry about getting
Yeah, good luck carrying that bomb. You flick it and it blows up.
Not that I need to tell you. You did it after all, though I can't for the life of me imagine how.
Dying several times, slipping on banana peels. Connect. Connect! Yes!
You can set up the chiral network while I work.
Look at that. The big old chunky network.
Anyway, as it turns out, Sam Bridges, I have a favor to ask. A local porter was on his way here with something very valuable, but dropped it en route. It's a 200-million-year-old ammonite, which looks, he says, almost as if it were still alive. He apparently stumbled across it in a boulder field which had previously been hidden beneath a glacier, but that's not the half of it. The man claims this ammonite has an umbilical cord. An umbilical cord. Color me skeptical, but the specimen merits study, and I wasn't about to leave such delicate work to an amateur. So I asked him to carve out the whole surrounding chunk of rock and bring it here to me. Naturally, I wanted to compare it with contemporary specimens in the vicinity, which is why I had him excavate a number of those in addition to the one he told me about. But what does a dumb fuck go and do? He loses the whole shipment. Didn't even have the good sense to mark which container had the ammonite with the umbilical cord. The cargo was supposedly lost in the area to the southwest, where toxic gases have a tendency to build up. Old Mr. Reliable claims his cargo scanner is broken, and there's no way he can recover the shipment. But you could track it down. To protect you against the fumes, I'll provide you with an oxygen mask. Just to be safe. You can pick it up when you accept the order.
That fossil could represent an epical discovery. While there are examples of viviparous fish,
Do you just make up words, Hartman?
an umbilical cord is unheard of. And if it is indeed 200 million years old, it would also correspond with the end Triassic extinction, another one of the big five. Could the umbilical cord be connected to the beach? We must recover that cargo at all costs. It could provide a vital clue to the mechanisms underpinning the Death Stranding. We're so close. So very, very close to grasping the true nature of the phenomenon. Hurry, Sam. We cannot risk that ammonite being lost.
It just makes shit up.
Good work.
Isn't Ammonite a Pokemon?
Please access delivery.
Alright, so here's the thing. I either have to quit the session or I at least have to take 5. I'm gonna go check my schedule, so I'm gonna put up the BRB screen. YouTube folks, if this video suddenly ends, that means I had to work. Twitch folks, if I have to work, I'll come back really quick and let you know.